So since the last time we spoke about this topic, I'll just, recap over what's come out. And Adora, who, was getting basically canceled from the VTuber community, decided to quit, decided to leave by kind of just dropping this bombshell, tweeting, "This has weighed heavily on me since January, and the reason I distanced myself from Takahata101 earlier this year was because Red Claw has shown me an anonymous victim's allegations of Takahata graping her. I distanced from Taka after I read that." And most of the screenshots are censored, but you can see Red Claw here. This should send in order. This is everything before it happened, with the exception of the last text he sent, which was after it happened. Was Taka's name submitted with the police report? Just wanted to make sure. And it says his real name was. So this is kind of when we learned there was a police report. But allegedly, this incident happened more than a year ago. And then Adora adds, "I'm retired from VTubing and I will not be rebranding. After I find new work, I will be sending out remaining prints to my community that I still owe." So she kind of just, dropped this, didn't reveal anything meaningful, except that there was a police investigation. And, kind of stirred the pot a lot with that one. Takahata, 2 days ago, finally kind of addressed the situation, saying, "Thank you to those who reached out. I am aware of the incredibly serious allegations that has circulated privately the last several months. One that is simply false. Crucial facts have been omitted and or distorted. As such, I have consulted with my lawyers. My legal representatives in January 2025 contacted the individual who started this, but I've yet to receive any response from the individual in question." So what he's saying here is that, it's been basically 8-9 months since his legal representative have allegedly contacted the victim and have received no answer. And then he adds that, "Therefore, for the sake of my mental health, I hope to move forward and at some point return to streaming and content creation. Thank you to my friends, family, and community for your support." And then Alicia basically responded to what Taka was tweeting 5 hours ago, saying, "The victim doesn't want to be public, so I haven't gone into detail at all about what happened. They supported me saying more in the past, but I still refused because I was worried about her stability. But I will say this now using her prior okay with me saying something. Taka told me in a call he had sex with a woman who was under sedatives. She had a 24/7 caretaker because she mentally cannot take care of herself. Her mother handed her off to him when he came to see her, trusting him with her care. Earlier that day, she said she wanted to kill herself. She cried on the train ride with him. When she got to the hotel, she took a lot of pills in front of him. He himself stated he saw her take the pills. This is what Taka told me himself. I've never spoken directly to the victim. I've only ever talked to him, then made my decision." Okay, so this is the confusing part, but try to remember these key points. So the first thing here is that Taka told me in a call he had sex with a woman who was under sedatives. So she claims she got a direct confirmation from Takahata himself that he knew it was sedatives. Yet, as we'll see later in Takahata's document, he claims he didn't know they were sedatives. And then the other thing that strikes me in this post is that, she says she has a 24/7 caretaker because she mentally cannot take care of herself. Then in a document later, we kind of find out that that caretaker is a roommate. I'm not sure if that's common. And then her mother handed her off to him when he came to see her, trusting him with her care. That's also not mentioned in the document. And, most of these things actually aren't mentioned at all. So we have two conflicting stories here. And then she adds here, "My decision to part with him was solely based on my conversation with him. I gave him the benefit of the doubt because he was one of my best friends. Regardless, I'm a strong believer in seeing proof of screenshots and talking to the person accused to hear them out. In this situation, I only talked to Taka, the accused, and that alone made me leave. There were other women in the scene who interacted with the victim and know more about her side. I cannot speak on behalf of them. As for the screenshots, Taka told me in our final call together, he has a Google Doc with the entire history of their text conversations." And then there's this other creator, Junk, who seems to be siding with Takahata, along with Bo Sheep. And he says, what an abysmally cherry-picked description of the events you could have chosen. You did not see the tons of messages that took place between the alleged and the accused, and still choose to wade in on this. You can choose not to comment on something if you don't know. She says, I'm confused why did you say that when you also were told the same thing by Taka. Disappointed to see this in your stance. And he continues his tweet here saying, the full narrative. It's often better to do less you influence your audience with false narratives. And then Bosheep here says, this is the most disgustingly inaccurate summary of the situation. You haven't seen the hundreds of text messages between them before and after they slept together, or that she also admitted to others as having given him consent. He also had no idea what she had been prescribed, and I think this is kind of an important point here. Did he know what she had been prescribed or not? Bo responded to a lot of people in this thread. She's been really, kind of running defense for Takahata and standing up, which I feel like, you have a lot more to lose doing that. So it makes me feel like she really strongly believes in his innocence. Who's tweeted, it's been hard to see the internet discuss court and criminal investigations that simply have not been happening, and I'm glad that he's finally putting this rumor to rest. So another person that believes that the investigation is not happening. Yet, in Mistress Doom's statement that she releases that we'll go over later, she claims there is one. So here, he finally named the victim. My tumultuous relationship with Mistress Doom VT. Disclaimer for emotional abuse, gaslighting, slander, defamatory accusations, drug use, accusations of assault. I know I had originally said I wanted to protect this individual due to concern for her mental health. However, due to recent events and the fact that she has continued to use other creators to tell her story via grotesque misrepresentation of the facts, I'm now forced to name her, and I need to protect myself and those who have been dragged into this situation. It seems that he's kind of alluding that, she's not speaking out, she gets to be quiet, but she's, it's all, spreading, and then other people are kind of speaking out for her. I mean, he believes it's damaging her. And Bohi responded, the approach I was taking against you has been nothing short of malicious. You can rescind consent at any time during the act, not a week later. We are responsible for our own prescription meds. To know the side effects, it is also our responsibility to inform others. Well, let's dive into the document. There's a lot more details. He has a lot of screenshots. So Takahata here says, this has been one of the saddest and most difficult periods of my life. I've been hugely hurt by a wonderful friend who I have loved for over 9 years. I've been the target of allegations, speculations, ill-informed judgments, and malicious rumor, all of which have been untrue and which, fortunately, I do have the evidence to disprove. The one special person may have been the source for this, but they carry no blame. Others who have fed jackal-like on the scraps they have found perhaps do. For a while, I was confused and angry. I could not understand how something like this could spring from such a trusting, long-standing relationship, but now I think I understand. Sometimes in life, events occur which can rip away the protective layer surrounding our emotions. Sometimes these heals, but often they stay raw and exposed, close to the surface of our lives. Scientists may describe this as PTSD, but it is more than that. There's a beauty there too. If you know or love someone like this, you'll know what I mean. Their emotions are right there, so close to the surface. When they open themselves, their hearts, their feelings to you, it's a true act of love. What you experience from them is genuine and pure. It can't be fabricated. It's the truth. Emotional truth. But there's more than one kind of truth. There's the truth of feelings, of emotions, of the heart. There's also the truth of hard facts and mundane reality, and sometimes they clash and collide. These hearts cannot accept the unacceptable, even when the facts demand they should. I have found the difference between untruth and a lie. A lie is a deliberate falsehood, cold, deliberate, rational. But an untruth can spring from a deeper place, from a heart that has no place for the reality it's being asked to acknowledge. Instead, it insists on its own truth. For many of us in the VTuber world, I think a constructed reality can seem a safer, happier place. And I think this world provides shelter for many whose other lives are raw and vulnerable realities. I have suffered mental turmoil myself and have found many of the relationships here to be more fulfilling, meaningful, and safer than many I have experienced in my outside world. This person that I loved for so many years came into my life before my entry into the VTuber world, back when we met in person at a convention and we built the truth of our relationship together. I thought we knew each other deeply and truly, but maybe we never really knew the other us living our other lives, but maybe I never really knew the other life she was leading. When finally we came together, there was perhaps a harsh collision of the two worlds, a clash of realities. I had not seen or expected or understood this, and I failed to allow for it. Is this a memoir? He's an artistic guy. I get the point he's trying to make, basically, but he's coloring it with like beautiful words, is that basically she crazy. like basically she's a beautiful person, but she her emotions might, what he's trying to say is that her emotions might have colored her judgment of the situation. Alright, so what Takahata says here is that we had worked and planned to arrange a meeting. It was to be joyful, tender, erotic, happy, and open, but the reality was different. I think I did not belong in this, her other world. There, our openness and the strength of our feelings became simple vulnerability. She found no place for me in that world, but nor did she want to hurt or reject the person she had loved all these years. So she allowed a new truth to be shaped. A truth that made sense of her response, her feelings. A truth that did not match the facts of what happened, but was true in her heart. I had now been found by her to be a different kind of person, a person guilty of the kind of insensitivity and even sexual abuse that has no place in the world of the 9 years of our previous relationship, love, and shared intimacy. So this is what we said, implied, suggested to others in that world. It is untrue, but it sprang from a hurt heart. Others fed hungrily on it for questionable personal reasons. But I do owe the truth to my friends, he adds, and so I have set out, as clearly as I can, the details of what happened over those few years of our meeting. If it reads as a little clumsily, I make no apologies. It is based on simple records, communication notes. I do not want to polish or refine this. I simply want to share the truth, but it is underpinned by evidence, solid, written, and now shared with my professional advisors. So he did speak to his lawyers for this. First paragraph, the clash of two worlds. I've known AG, aka Mistress Doom VT, for 9 years. I first met her at a convention in Newcastle. We hung out a lot during the weekend and spent a lot of time together, including getting Subway sandwiches at 3 AM after drinking, dancing, and playing board games at the convention. During that time, I could tell I was crushing on her, but I didn't share this until later. Later, she told me she also had feelings for me, but we did not act on these feelings during the trip. After that, we began an online romantic and sexual relationship for a while. We kept in communication on and off again for years. It was at mutual friend's wedding in November of 2019 when I saw AJ again in person for the second time. To be honest, I had thought she hated me for communication breaking off, so when I saw that she was at the wedding, I was nervous. In fact, when I got there, she was also arriving, so I bit the bullet and said hello and waved at her. We got to talking that day and I found out that she was also worried that I might hate her because she had stopped communicating with me, so we laughed it off. That weekend, we spent a great deal of time dancing and having a long conversation over several hours on the steps of the manor where the wedding was taking place. At that moment, I knew absolutely that the reality was that I still had feelings for her, but I was dating somebody else, and that is why we did nothing. We went to our separate rooms that night, and although I was already in a relationship, I knew that I had deep feelings for her. Several months after the wedding, I ended my relationship with my partner at the time to pursue a non-monogamous lifestyle, which allowed me to interact freely with AJ. So during this time, AJ and I talked and engaged in very intimate conversations once again. We discussed how we lusted after each other and how it was hard that we lived so far away from each other. Throughout COVID, our relationship was on again, off again, but our constant communication did not start again until we entered VTubing, which I was already working in before she also entered it. during which we were talking constantly. From there, our relationship grew stronger than it ever had before, and she started to work on my channel and my streams, helping out with organizing. AJ proved herself to be extremely talented at organizational structure for my streams. Our relationship grew into an actual romance, and it lasted several years, during which she confessed to me that she was in love with me, and I confessed to her that I felt the same. So I suppose their relationship got official around that time, somewhere after COVID. As far as I felt and believed, we were in a romantic relationship together. There's some screenshots here. These are some, it's called Anticipation PDF. Feel my hands on your hips and ass as I spank you, as I pound you, finally making love to you. Guilty little secret of a week, both of us knowing what we actually want. It's not long now, huh? What date does your flight get into the UK? Makes no diary. I'm really bad at remembering dates. 16 days shit, that's quickly approaching. Soon I'll actually be able to hug you. Heart. I'm gonna be a busy bee for the next 2 weeks. I'm happy to be able to load up Trav with lots of work though. Same. I got a script and record some stuff so I can take some videos with me to edit when you're exercising. I'm not a workaholic. I mean, to be fair, I'm gonna be getting in plenty of cardio with you. I reckon you'll get a good amount. I'll do my best to keep you exercised, kissy face. I know it's lame, but I keep thinking, what outfit do I want to wear to meet you in at the airport? I want to look cute. You're gonna look cool. Heart, heart, heart. I want to go for a cute, like a nice summer dress. What, to be fair, every time I've met you or hung out with you in person, you've been wearing an amazing outfit. I remember how you were dressed at the wedding. I scrub up well. You know I haven't slow danced with anyone since that wedding. I'm glad we got to slow dance. God, I wanted to kiss you. I wasn't planning on dancing. I was so nervous when you asked. I hope it was good for you. I enjoyed being close with you. I want to be close with you. We're gonna be lying in the bed and you can have your leg up on me with your head in my shoulder chest. And we can still be closer. I just hope you enjoy your time with me getting to be close. Hope you enjoy your time with me getting to be close. Trust me, it's important that I do this. I need to be able to spend time with people I care about to truly test my non-monogamy. This is a big step for me this trip. Just being with you in general is a big step for me, and I'm happy to be able to take it with you. And also just finally have a blow off the 9 years of tension, which will probably culminate in about 3 minutes of sex. Okay, I did not expect that. I promised all the times after the first time will be good. I'm just happy I get to spend time with you. I never let people this close to me, so it's kind of special for me. I'd rather work than let people have one-on-one time with me. But I really want to give you that chance to be close with me. It's not like pressure, because whatever happens, happens. Like, I wouldn't be mad if after that week you never want to speak to or see me again. I'm glad we have the opportunity to explore our connection. This is something that we owe to each other. We've talked a lot and been very close. And even if we just remain friends, you know, I'm just so fucking happy to have you in my life because you're such a genuinely good part of it. I'm not worried that we're going to randomly never talk to each other again or anything like that. But I understand the apprehension you have about stuff. I want to reward that vulnerability by not making you feel like you've made a mistake. I just want to be good to you. It's not apprehension or said just I have no expected outcomes and no hard feelings with how things play out. If they went the worst way possible, you know, you can be content and appreciate the experience with it, which is cool. I just know there's going to be a moment where you're on top of me and I'm just lost in the moment and I'm just going to want time to stop to live there. See, that's really fucking romantic. Don't be cute. It'll make me want to kiss you. We're gonna be making a lot of love, a lot of making out while fucking. I haven't done something like this before, so it's gonna be interesting to see what we get up to. But you really should get some sleep. It must be hella late for you. Can't really sleep, just a really stressful day. So, this is the talk before he goes to visit her. I already forgot what was the point of these screenshots. He's trying to show her anticipation, and I guess by adding the screenshots, he's trying to showcase that I think he's just trying to showcase that they were romantically involved and that this was a relationship. He's setting the mood. So she says, it sounds like a good couple of days. Want to get a haircut, get my nails done before I see ya. I want to look my best. I'm actually going to get my hair trimmed for the first time in 5 years. Oh shit, that's going to be wild for you. Will it hurt? No, it's going to feel awesome. Your hair always feels lighter after a cut. It's amazing. I was kidding. But yeah, I have hair down to my ass. There's a type that says I have her down to my ass and I haven't had it cut in a long time, so I'm gonna think of something. You got longer hair than me. So this was basically to showcase that he felt and believed that they were in a relationship, a romantic relationship together. She was one of the few people in the world I spoke to and constantly and trusted, and I saw her as a partner. We shared multiple years of intimacy remotely, and we spoke often of me visiting her or her visiting me. Finally, I bit the bullet and decided to book a ticket in April 2024 to fly to see her at the end of August 2024, which coincided with the event AEW, all in London, to share with her something I really enjoy. She expressed her excitement that I had actually bit the bullet, bought the tickets, and arranged my visit. She said no one had ever done something like this for her before. We talked about the dates I would be there and discussed where I would stay in London and what we would get up to. She even stated that she would meet me at the airport and that she was very excited to see me. AG suggested staying closer to Wembley. So there's another set of screenshots here saying, I know, hon, I'm just nervy because I've never done this before. I'm both nervous and excited. We get to spend a week with each other. Yeah, that's kind of wild. No prying eyes, just vibing. It's kind of wild. I'm not actually gonna believe it's happening till I see you at the airport, then it's high chance I cry. Aw, babe. That's why I stressed as I'm about the tickets in the end. That's just a one-day thing, and the real reason I'm coming out is spending that time with you. We're literally going to be able to relax in the bed together and he noted that, knowledge of trip and flirtation. That's a thing. I think I purchased it without making an account. I have the website I ordered it from so I can message them sometimes later today and talk to the customer service as I have the credit card information that I purchased it. I hope I sort this out. I'm just so fucking frustrating and I really fucking hate it that I went through this website. Guess he's having some trouble finding something he bought. I don't want to get stressed out about it. It's $600 though. I'll just see what I can do tomorrow. Regardless, I would trade all that in for another day with you. It's okay to be stressed out about it. You love your wrestling. It's a huge factor as to why you're making the trip. You really want to attend an event at this venue, plus it's a decent chunk of money. It's fine to be stressed, but I'm sure it can be sorted out. I just want to hold you against me. I've lost gig tickets before and it sucked, so don't worry, I get the stress. It's the tickets to the AEW event that he lost. I appreciate your understanding. I'll keep you up to date with it tomorrow. Would prefer to get it sorted before I get there. I don't want to be sitting on phone trying to figure out how to get my tickets when I'm there with you, you know? Don't want to risk losing me to Unite, yeah? Listen, I am already well aware that we're going to end up fucking, and I'm going to come deep inside you, and then after we shower and fuck in the shower again, we're gonna cuddle on the bed while we both play our games on our personal devices. Then, after a bit, probably fuck again. XD. My, you have quite the stamina, kissy face. Okay, maybe we'll just make out in the shower. Nah, commit to the shower sex. It's an experience. Looking at your back arcing and seeing your ass pounded against me. Exactly, feeling you deep inside me. Our body is wet and connected. It sounds pretty good, don't it? Yes, it does, babe. Fuck, I want to be deep inside you and connected to you, babe. That's the fun part. You're gonna be able to do that this week. No more waiting. You're gonna be able to. I'm seriously going to be shooting everything that makes me who I am deep inside you. Hey, I can be like not attractive and just like full on nerd if you prefer. The reason why I find you so attractive is because you're a full on nerd. You nerd. I don't know about that, man. I think there's a direct link between being a MOBA addict and not getting laid. I appreciate you giving up on your MOBA time for sex. Bro, I committed hard to the MOBA over a year seg free. Let's go. I'm more into the MOBA than ever. Laughing emojis. You get to remind me what the fuck a sex is, winky face. You have a chance to save me, kissy heart. What? I'll make sure to fuck you and come inside you as often as possible then, babe. I think after a year of no sex, I should totally count as a virgin again. Last time you had sex was a year ago, yeah? I actually went for an STD test the other day. I haven't heard back from them, which is a good sign. Over a year ago for sure. I don't know the exact specifics. It's like I get to be an incel, but not really, because I could easily get laid if I tried, but it's the closest I'll ever get to understanding the incels. It's men's fault because whenever anyone tries to come over, I'm like, no, I'm playing a MOBA. Maybe you just waited for the right guy to fuck you. Well, that wouldn't be fair, would it? Get me into fucking you then. Just fly over the ocean and leave. Pretty extreme way of getting away from me. That's why coming inside you and protected is so dangerous. Oh my god, this is so too much information. Getting so into it, you forget to take your pill. Can't wait to hang out with your dorky ass for real. Heart emoji. Hey, what's life without a little danger from time to time? Nah, a week with my dorky ass, you'll never speak to me again. Hey, that's my line. You'll be like, it was awful, guys. She explained in excruciating detail how to play her favorite Pokemon in Unite and in VGC. It was like playing P5, but no swaggy dungeons, just math. She's showing me her early to late game build progression, and all I could take is, girl, I got an early to late game progression right there between my legs. What? Yeah, but is it a good team player? Is it gonna steal objectives? Gonna dunk points? Overwhelming DPS. Oh, so it's a glass cannon one shot and it's over? Steady building DPS dot for multiple hours after. So it's a stacking tank, gotcha. What is your physical damage resistance right now? I'm a speedster, bro. I'm weak, fam. I got no damage resistance. All action, no defense kinda gal. Damn. One straight shot with penetration damage and you're gonna go down. Oh my god. I'm very squishy. One good move and it's all over for me. One good move and it's all over for me. I better make it count then. God, I'm such a fucking nerd. It's so fucking cute. We're gonna be laying in bed and you're gonna be showing me how to play Unite while I'm feeling you up. Sounds like you're gonna be having more fun time than me because you know how to feel my soft skin and I'm playing Unite. Generally, can't wait to feel your skin, babe. I'm pretty soft if I do say so myself. I'm gonna be thinking about it as I fade to bed here, babe. Thinking about you. Good night. 2 more sleeps away. Actually, wild. Sleep well. Tickets are figured out. Glad to hear it. Dude, I swear my dog is deliberately causing issues. I gotta emergency take him in tomorrow for an ear infection that he's developed since he was seen on Friday. It's so bad. That's 2 different issues in less than 5 days. If you need to come out a day later or anything, babe, please note that I understand. I'll keep you posted on what happens tomorrow. It's gonna be a long night for me. Oh, this is when she starts kinda getting, you know, making up excuses to not meet him up at the trip, I think. It's all good. I'll get it sorted out. Hope your days goes well. Just know if anything happens or comes up, you can tell me and we can adjust any plans. Extenuating circumstances being what they are. I can guarantee I'll be able to go to the wrestling stuff on Sunday, so don't worry about that. You'll get to see me guaranteed. Like, I'd let you fly all this way to see me and not see you. Okay, babe. Please don't understand because your pet isn't well that you may need a day or 2. I'll let you know how he's doing tomorrow. I'm gonna phone first thing. I would take him to the emergency vets, but they charge 300 euros just to be seen. No meds, nothing. It's gonna cost like 60 euros if I wait it out and see his main vet. Dogo has 2 different ear infection plus allergies messing up his ear and paw. The meds should help, so I should be able to come to London on Friday afternoon evening. Is that okay? No worries, I'll figure out a way from the airport to the hotel and I'll look at the local transport options. Taxi from the taxi rank on the underground tubes. Just giving him advice to get around. I'm not gonna stress too much. I'm already really terrified of the flights. I got a sedative though. Keep me posted on like your travel. Let me know when you arrive safely. How long till I fly out? Start my travel at 4:55, so like 1 a.m. my time. Then he sends her ticket when he arrives. If plans change on your end, please keep me informed. If you want to come out late Thursday night instead, will do. Here's hoping to drop suit down his ear. By the way, what's your return flight details? He sends them over. Cool, so I can go to the airport if you had to see you off. Had to double check I wasn't gonna get stranded in London. What's the hotel you're at again? Seeing how late a train I can get to see if I can get there tomorrow evening. Thank you. See you there either Thursday or Friday. I appreciate you trying to make Thursday work. Doing my best. It's the least I can do when you've flown all the way to see little old me. It's only 20 hours of transit. It's really the flight from here to Vancouver that I'm the most nervous about. Damn, dude, that's commitment. It's almost like you like me or something. JK, we all know it's for the wrestling, actually. Winky face. I also got a bunch of running around done and booked an appointment with the doctor to try and get a sedative for the flight. Fingers crossed they helped you out. I wish the flight wasn't so long for you. Honestly, I'm more nervous about a flight from my city down to Vancouver. It's a shorter flight. Big planes don't really scare me. It's the small ones that do. That's fair. I promise I'll be worth the trip. I believe you. Long time in coming. Then she sends him a few messages. I'm just happy I get to spend time with you. I never let people this close to me, so it's kind of special for me. I'd rather work than let people have one-on-one time with me. But I really want to give you that chance to be close with me. It's not like pressure cause. Whatever happens, happens. Like, I wouldn't be mad if after the week you never want to speak or see me again. Yeah, we've read this. So there's something I've always wanted to do while in London, which is visit the British Museum Egyptian exhibit. I'm probably going to go while I'm in London, so you want to join me? Well, yes. I've always wanted to go see it, but never had the time. Last time I was at the British Museum of History was literally for a manga exhibit and a private tour of that, so I couldn't go elsewhere in the museum. But I really wanted to see the Egyptian stuff. You nerd. A few days before the trip, she told me that she had a medical issue with one of her animals. So this is what we just read in the screenshots. The originally intended plans might change, but in her last correspondence, she stated that she was planning to come out the night I arrived, which eased my personal anxiety as I would be alone otherwise. She expressed apprehension about being in London, away from her home, but nothing she said made clear the extent to which this would be an issue for her. And because I did not know about the severity of some episodes she had experienced in the past and her resultant deep ill ease about being away from home, I didn't perhaps pay as much attention to her apprehension as I might have done otherwise, as the severity was not impressed upon me beforehand. She would only be an hour away from her home, but every communication we shared leading up to my departure was warm and positive from both sides. Our correspondence was very personal and intimate, and she told me she had mental health issues which she had battled throughout her life. However, when she talked about her mental health issues, she never indicated how severe they were. But I never questioned this, and I did not pry into the specifics of her illness, so I was never aware of the severity of the issues she faced until I arrived in England. As someone who has mental health issues too, I can understand fighting your own demons, and I would never disrespect her for this. In fact, I too have PTSD regarding flying. I told her repeatedly that I was concerned about the travel in flight. She asked if I had medication, sedatives to be specific, and I told her I did, and I took an Ativan, a new medication to help calm my nerves while flying. During the trip over, I took over double the intended dosage as the flight was incredibly turbulent. But when the time for a meeting arrived, a different reality cut in. When I landed, everything changed immediately. I realized I had increased lethargy and was disoriented and experienced increased anxiety. I was in the Uber to my hotel when I received a text from AJ saying that she wouldn't be coming until likely Saturday evening. The reason she gave me was that her dog had an ear infection. What confused me about this is that she had multiple people in her home who could take care of her animals, as she had informed me that in the past that these people had done so. Of course, this was disappointing as we had agreed that she would come Thursday or Friday at the latest. Yeah, that's kind of lame of her to have done that. If somebody's going... The thing is, when you're traveling to meet somebody or with people, like, you gotta trust them to, like, show up. And it's pretty stressful to wonder if they're gonna be there or not. Can you take the sedatives for the flights? I wish I could do something to help. I'll be taking a sedative. First flight is 40 minutes delayed. I would be able to make my flight to London. If not, they will rebook me for the next flight. I will keep you appraised of everything. Appraised. God, why is flying so stressful? Sending hugs. First flight is done. Flight to London is delayed 45. You got through the hard part. How was it? Happy. I took an active and took the edge off. Okay, boarding now, flying out. Then he says, landed. Welcome to the ever so sunny UK. Gotta go through border then baggage claim. Then you realize I'm lying and it's not sunny at all. Oh, I saw. Welcome to the UK. Bruv, bruv, bruv. Oh, already getting into the culture, fam. Made it through border, no issue. Good job on not smuggling or something. An automated kiosk. Now on to getting luggage. I really don't know how this works. I got my luggage and now just grabbing a taxi. I'm here, babe. You did it. That way, wow. Like he went through everything. And once he texts, I'm here, babe, then she's like, well, actually, I'm not gonna meet you. Unfortunately, my doggo's ear is still really bad, so I can't leave him. If it's still bad tomorrow, the earliest I'm gonna be able to get to London is Saturday evening. If that's the case, would you be down to grab a train to Cambridge Friday and I can just pay for a hotel for you? That way we can still hang and I can look after Dogo. I'll pay for train and such that we can head back to London together Saturday. Well, I guess if they can hang out closer to her house and they can both watch the dog and hang out, that's a good compromise. And text on my way to the hotel. Oh, I got your message. Sucks, your pup is still ill and you have no one to take care of him. I won't lie, I'm not versed in your transit system. How long would it take to get there? An hour train and I'd pick you up from the station. Unfortunately, I paid for the hotel, so essentially I would have out $400 for nothing. Would I be able to take a train out there and come back? I'm sorry your dog is ill and the last thing I would want you to do is get you to abandon your dog, seeing as how you're the only one who can take care of them. You mentioned you'd like me to swing out by your place one of the days I'm here, so maybe that could be tomorrow, depending. As for getting a whole separate hotel, I just don't think that's a good use of money. I still have to head back to Cambridge on Monday, as well as regardless to monitor the ear properly. It really sucks my dog got sick, but it requires very thorough cleaning only I can do. Is your mother not able to do this? Sorry if I'm coming up across rude. It's just I spent 20 hours in transit and I generally don't know if I'm going to be seeing you at all for the next couple days. It just sucks. No one in the house can do it, and if we fuck it up, the dog will have to have surgery. I'm so incredibly stressed by this whole situation. I've been sick all morning and in a mental health crisis. It's rough, man. Well, just keep me up to date and the best you can, I guess. I won't lie, I'm really depressed. I'm not gonna see you for over half the trip that I made to spend time with you. I'm not trying to guilt trip you here, it's just I don't really know what I'm supposed to do aside from just putting a smile on my face. And I'll be honest, I don't understand why someone in your house can't handle it, but that's me being bitchy. I don't know the full story, so I can't judge. If you're just honestly nervous about actually hanging out, I understand, but this really sucks because I powered through a lot of negative stuff to get here. I just spent 20 hours on some of the most bumpy plane flights of my life and I took a ton of drugs to get through it just so I can see you. She replies, I offered you a way to see me tomorrow, but you don't want to because of the hotel room. I'm generally not far off ending up in a hospital from how stressed from all of this I'm getting. I have to look after my dog. I'm trying to give us ways we can see each other where I can look after my dog and I don't end up in a hospital, but it's gotta take a little give here. Why are you the only one who can administer medicine to your dog? You told me that you're probably going to be busy today and I accepted that, but now it's changed to busy tomorrow as well and I have to go out to see you if I wanted to see you, and the only time you can come out now is the third day too. But only at night, and then you have to go back to your place immediately on Monday. That's over 4 days of my trip to see you, unable to. I understand that you're stressed, but right now I'm really depressed and disappointed. I spent a lot of money and time to come out here. Dude, I get that, but my dog is sick. I'm the one trained to care for it. My mental health is at the point I'm going to hurt myself. I don't want to do that, but I don't know what to do here. I'm completely ignore you the whole time we're hanging out or something? No, I just don't want you to see this version of me that I can't control. I want you to have a nice visit, not deal with me crying, hyperventilating and such. This is a very heavy conversation. He's like, I'm depressed. She's like, I'm going to hurt myself. And I'm sitting crying. And this is like, I don't know, too much to handle, I guess. Very heavy emotions from both sides. And then there's the whole issue of her not being comfortable being away from the house. That, I guess, in the document, he says that he didn't really understand the extent of it, how much this made her uncomfortable. And we can see how it's starting to affect her here. So here says, I'm prepared for that, but I seriously don't think the right way of managing that is to literally barely see me while I'm there. And then she responds, then come to Cambridge tomorrow. Let me calm down around you and see that it's okay to go to London for a bit. That's what I need from you. Okay, but will you be coming back with me to the hotel that night? If I gave you the money for the hotel and buy you a hotel, can we stay in Cambridge and go to London Saturday? But are you still gonna leave Monday and go back home for the rest of my trip? You said you'd come with me Monday. That hasn't changed. I'll need to check on my animals. I really can't stress to you enough just how bad my mental health is. I'm literally in the middle of a park freaking out in the rain because I'm genuinely scared I'm gonna hurt myself. I don't want you having to deal with that side of me. I can't spend all those days in London. I mentally can't do it. I'm at a breaking point here, dude, and it's terrifying. I said I'd be willing to pop out to your home for a day. I didn't know you meant for the rest of the trip, just to my hotel. I was only hoping Monday, Tuesday. Sorry if I'm not being empathetic or nothing in this situation. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'd pay for it all. You have to pay to be at your home? I'd get us a hotel so we have our own space. Then you wouldn't be able to look after your dog though. I'm confused. I can drive home to administer medication. In Cambridge, I have my car. I don't in London. Would you want to bring your car to London? God, no. London driving is awful, plus ULAs cost way too much. I need you to work with me, and my mental health needs to make this trip work for us because I don't think you realize how bad this gets for me in panic states. Give me a few to process all of this. Okay, but I need to know some assurance about the rest of this trip. If I come out tomorrow and you come back with me to London, you're still gonna be leaving on Monday and I won't be seeing you for the rest of the week. I can see if I can try and get out of my hotel here if I can. Tip, don't bring someone in if your boat is sinking. Yeah, it's not fair for both of them because she's on the verge of ghosting him and, you know, just throwing all their plans out the window, but she is offering a solution. It just costs more money and she's willing to pay for it. But I guess they weren't ready to take these steps and they like didn't realize it until they were there till he traveled for 20 hours and he was in London, which it would have been better if she told him before he left. Just come back to Cambridge with me on Monday and spend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with me in Cambridge. He says, if I can get out of my hotel, then yes, I will be. Otherwise, I am literally blowing $1,700. You were talking about how you wanted to go to the museum and stuff, so I assumed you were completely down for this. I can't do 7 nights away from home. I never have. I have a 24/7 live-in carer. That's how bad my mental health is. Normally, I can do the short trips because I have a carer with me. And he says, I really wish you had told me this weeks ago. Who is the carer? Your mom? Jimmy, she says. What is your relationship with him? He's my carer. His job is to look after me. He's paid by the government. Do you feel comfortable being in a romantic setting with me? Nervous as hell about it, but that's PTSD. Dude, the fact that they've been talking for what he says 8 years and he didn't know that she had a carer? Like, how? Is that what is causing a lot of this? I imagine PTSD is triggering a lot of today's non-stop attack, but also the night panics, the being away from home for so long. I'm not trying to be mean when I say this. I'm trying to say this with as much loving kindness as I can. I just feel like there's tons of excuses right now. The dog being sick, needing to be near your carer, all of this stuff. And I say this with love, and please know I don't say this cruelly. As long as I've known you, one of your animals has always been sick at some point. The hotel cancellation policies pay 1 night stay. Well, no, I don't think I can get out of paying $1,700 for my booking. I can try, but I don't know if I can get the money back. Before I left my trip, I really needed you to be more clear with me about your mental limits. It would have fundamentally changed how I booked my hotel. I'm not opposed to being in Cambridge. See if you can and see if we can move the mainstay location to Cambridge. If not, I'll work my ass off and pay you back the money. Like, the problem is I came here for this big event near Wembley and bought my ticket for it, you know, and I was looking forward to just checking out different parts of London with you. Because I'm also a tourist and I know nobody there. I'm actually really nervous because of all these things. I can't, babe. That's not how it works. I booked through hotels.com, not through the hotel itself. I'll pay you back any money you lose, but I'm sorry, I can't do 7 nights in London. I don't feel as at any point I was really asked if that was cool. I genuinely didn't think something like that would be an issue for you, as how it's only an hour and a half away. I tried calling. Can you please call back? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I guess she's not answering for a while. Shit, sorry, I was walking back from the park. Taking an Uber to King Cross Station. You need to get a train from there to Cambridge North. 2 things. If you want to take the train back with me, we can do that. But apparently I also have a free parking space with my hotel room. Let me know when you're on a train and when you hit Cambridge. Don't get off at Cambridge though, it's the stop after. I need to get a ticket to Cambridge North. Yes, you have the Trainline app. No. Wait, I'll buy you your ticket and send you the code to scan. I'm at the station. Sends a picture. ETA. I'm waiting for the cars. I'm inside. Okay. Welcome to the English train. My phone is at 37%. I'm going to keep it on low while I sell some of the stuff out, but I'll keep in contact all the same. To return, we have options though. Yeah, babe, I told you I'd be willing to do this, so thank you for getting me my tickets and sorting out that headache. I just gotta wait for these attachment trains to show up. Dude, I feel so fucking trash. I'm drugged up all shit. Wait till you see how tired I look. Have you decided how you want to get back to London? Yeah, we can just grab a train back because driving to London is rough. Can we have food before? Honestly, best shot at food is waiting till we get back to King's Cross. I can pick you up a snack from the shop if you want. Train's moving. How long is the train? Hour and a half? An hour. Can you grab me a snack and a bottle of water? Yeah, what snack you want? Sandwich or wrap or something? What kind of sandwich? I don't know what you eat. Anything with salami? I had to go with surprise me. Okay, they're just like trying to give each other direction. Okay, they're meeting in the lobby. On my way back, so embarrassed. It's all good. I vibe to music. The fuck did you go? Made it to the underground. I'm glad. Thank you for telling me. Nervous. On the tube, almost at King Cross. Continued in museum plus day after. Damn. They were expecting this entire romantic getaway. Dude gets there and then everything changed. It's like utter chaos and they gotta like change their plans and run around the city. I would not want to be in this situation. As we continued to talk about this, she kept saying that she was just afraid of coming to London because it was far from her bubble and was asking me to come out instead. She pivoted and stated that she couldn't come out for the full allotment of days that she had agreed to and was pushing hard that I come out to get a hotel in her hometown. And I visit her instead. I had known AJ and been in love with her for years, and I thought bubble nerves were the only issue here. I didn't expect them to be a real problem. At that stage, I had no reason to realize that her fear of being away from home was as severe as in fact it was. Yeah, it seems it is very severe. Very, very severe. I was worried and disappointed. I had just traveled 20 hours from British Columbia to be with her, and this had been planned and agreed upon for months. But now it was beginning to seem as though she was making excuses, including her animals as a reason to not hang out with me. After a long text conversation, we called one another and spoke on the phone at length. She said she was simply anxious about leaving her bubble and traveling by herself. She suggested I might book another hotel close to her home. I expressed reluctance in money needlessly being spent. It was only an hour away. We mutually agreed for her to come out that night, and I traveled to pick her up to allay any fear of her traveling by herself. She said she appreciated this gesture, and she even paid for the train ticket for me to travel out where she was. But when we met, she seemed like a different person, and I attributed this to her anxiety about traveling. She didn't even smile. This was not the person I knew before, who I had met at the convention or the wedding. This felt like a different reality. Well, she was probably having like a crisis, like she said, though. We chatted during the ride back, and I thanked her for coming out. At no point during our travel or in the hotel room did she suggest she was apprehensive about intimacy with me. This is an important line. When we got to the hotel room, she said she wasn't in the right headspace yet, but now that the travel was over, she would chill out. She had said that once the travel concluded, her anxiety would calm down, and that once the travel was over, she would chill out. We went and got snacks and a store around the corner and returned to the hotel room to watch TV together. I did not press her in any way. We sometimes held hands in the bed together. I fell asleep as I was exhausted from having traveled for over 24 hours. At some point, she woke me up with her hands full of unknown pills and joked that she had to take these to live. So there is the mention of the pill. It's very brief, but I did not know that these meds were or why she was taking them, and she did not tell me. Gradually into the night, we grew closer and more intimate. She didn't betray a sense of being uncomfortable with being intimate. I asked for consent for every sexual act, and she gave me consent. 3 separate consents for 3 separate acts. During the intimate act, things were said that conveyed to me that everything was fine and there was nothing to worry about. I fell asleep afterwards. I'm not sure when she fell asleep. The following morning, she woke me up and said she wanted to go home towards the end of the day and return on a different day because being away from home had been more of a trial than she expected. However, she impressed upon me that she still wanted to go to the British Museum before she left. I told her I appreciated her coming out all the same as I understood due to how clearly anxious she had been. I didn't pressure her to stay. That day we went to the British Museum as this was the activity she truly wanted to do and we had talked about the most. She left the British Museum to head home via train after we checked some stuff out. I went my separate direction. She had left her travel suitcase and several other items in the room. As she told me earlier, she would come back for them later. We're getting food. Did you get to the train? I'm playing to the best I can. Yeah, I got to the train. I'm like 40 minutes out of Cambridge. I'll let you know when I get home if you want, but you can trust I'm all safe. Thanks, babe. Had fun at the museum. Thanks for letting me indulge my morbid side. I'm really glad we got to check our actual mummies. Yeah, those things are hella cool. Truthfully, I really like the deceased through time chunk. Haha, you are so goth. Stuff fascinating. Okay, they're just nerding about the museum. I had to climb down 175 steps to get to the underground. I wore the wrong shoes. Okay, so almost in Cambridge. See the train from Cambridge to London? Such kind of fast. Glad you're home, babe. Just got in. Glad. Got back to the hotel, going to a friend hotel with him to hang out for a bit tonight. Feeling okay? Went on a hunt for pizza. I'm starving after all that walking and travel. I walked to Wembley from friend's Airbnb. How's the pup? How was it? Dogo's okay. I gave him chicken. He should have been informed on what she was taking. That stuff can really hurt social engagement. Anything romantic, you can go from 0 to 100 or completely go 100 to 0 instantly. Yeah, I think if somebody is going to take something that's going to drastically affect their mood, I guess I would want to know. Yeah, I would want to know because I need to be mentally prepared into what I'm getting into. Like, I wouldn't mind it. I probably wouldn't mind it, but like a warning would be nice. Had fun one for coffee as well. Really good Chinese food as well. I hope you have a good night's sleep. I appreciate you powering through your anxiety to spend time with me, and I'm sorry I put you through this. I really do not feel good about how I managed to plan this trip. I was very foolish of me to plan the way I did it, and for that I'm incredibly sorry for my selfishness. I'm happy you're in a good place now, and I understand why you need to go home. This entire trip has already been a wake-up call to me about a lot of things, and I just want you to know that I'm incredibly sorry. Apologies for the spam, just very much in my head tonight. Appreciate you reading my message, and if you want to talk tonight, I'm here and I would like to talk. Sorry, I was mid-unite game. I'm not really sure what I meant to say. I didn't know how hard it would be for me, but it's rough, you know. I think my mental health issues are way too well hidden, but they are nasty. I appreciate you messaging me. I appreciate you and everything you were willing to power through, and I'm sorry for not communicating better with you before this trip. I myself am prone to depressive episodes, and unfortunately, I'm hitting one right now. I'm really sorry to hear that. I really want you to have a nice trip, but you're also not gonna have that if I'm like crying the whole time. It's different because she's getting anxious and she's retreating into herself where she wants to be alone. Rima, did you eat dinner? No, I didn't. And then he's getting depressed, but he wants, I feel, it's the vibe that I'm getting, it's not being explicitly said. He wants her to make him feel better by, you know, spending time. It's like he feels that by spending time with her, he's gonna be less depressed. Then again, he's in the city all alone, or like a foreign city all alone. And he came to hang out with her, so it's kind of fair. Yeah, that is why he flew over. Oi, you! Yeah, you. Hi. If you're not subscribed to my second channel, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So take a moment, press the like button, press the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell on. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now let's get back into the video. I'm really sorry to hear that. I really want you to have a nice trip, but you're also not gonna have that if I'm like crying the whole time. It's there again. My roommate and me are willing to pay for the hotel for Monday and Tuesday if you still want to hang Cambridge way. I won't charge you a couple of months for the VOD channel to cover the loss on the hotel. I'm open to it. Thank you for being willing to find a workaround. Do you still want to come out to the event? I don't want you to foot the whole bill. This is also on me not communicating with you properly. I'll come back Sunday morning for the event. I think I can manage one night in London for the wrestling show. And then I go back with you Monday and stay till my flight, yeah? You can do that, or you can head to London on Wednesday night if you want. Let me double check when my flight is. I'll head out Wednesday night by train and spend one more night here. My flight is at 2 p.m. Sounds like a plan. Where do you think I could stay? There's a hotel 10-minute drives away from my house. You do feel comfortable having me close. They ain't fancy, but they do the job of giving you a bed. Being able to drive between hotel and house gives me the option of easily crashing out wherever I feel comfortable. I'll sort it out with my roommate, Griff, when he wakes up tomorrow. And then he repeats his question because she didn't answer. You do feel comfortable having me be near though, right? I'm fine with like hugs, just not like lots of them. So now she doesn't feel comfortable with a lot of hugs after they, you know, spend that night together. Throughout the day, I texted her to make sure she got home okay. She apologized for her anxiety getting the better of her and expressed appreciation for how I was there for her and how I had handled the situation. When I expressed regret over how I planned the trip, she stressed the fact that her anxiety had gotten the better of her, but she still very much wanted to see me. Furthermore, she again invited me to come out to her hometown. We talked again about having me get a hotel near where she lives if I came. Later, she texted me again saying that she would prefer just friendo hangouts and not so many hugs going forward. She also shared the extent of her past trauma, panic attacks, and PTSD. I listened to her history of abuse. I felt horrible for her as she went into detail, but I understood and worried that I might have pushed her too far in getting her to leave her bubble to visit me. This is after she says, I'm fine with just not a lot of hugs. I'm sorry I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I really feel fucking awful right now. The last thing I want to do is make you uncomfortable. Can I call you? I'm kind of chill gaming with peeps at the moment. Please don't feel awful like I'm not mad or anything. I just think we got a friendo hang out, you know? I understand. I'm having a mental health crisis right now. I'm talking to my therapist as well. What's up? I know this trip has been rough so far. I don't want this bad on you either. Like, I want you to meet my animals, hang out with my roommates. These are like easy ways to be on really good ground with me. I appreciate you saying that. I just feel awful for miscalculating so much of everything. I don't want to pressure you to do anything. I think what matters is finding the level ground and making the most of the rest of the time. Like, I'm looking forward to showing you Cambridge. I really appreciate you saying that. I can tell you care about me a lot. I know none of it is coming from a bad place. Thank you for saying that. I really needed to hear it. It's obvious that you care, you just didn't know how bad my anxiety problems really were. It's why I'm trying not to overthink everything, but it's really hard right now. I appreciate you talking with me right now, though, because it is helping. I apologize for stressing you out. I'm glad it's helping. I've been replying between Unite matches, hand slow. I figured. You said it's obvious I have big love for my family and friends and pets, so it means the world to me when people make the effort to get to know, like, my roommates. Cause you ain't wrong. They are family to me, and we're gonna take you bowling. We're gonna game. It's gonna be fun. I'm still letting you into part of my world, so I obviously don't hate you. I'm not mad at you either. I had fun at the museum. It was nice. I'm glad you came with me. I am too. It was super cool to actually see that stuff in person. Never have seen anything like it. They never like talk about that night that they spent together though. Yeah, it really does seem like she prefers a long distance relationship over, you know, a meeting relationship. Yeah, this conversation happened after that, you know, night they spent together happened where the alleged rape happened. He says, I look forward to meeting your friends and hanging out. I'm glad they look forward to meeting you too. I'm really sorry for any disappointment I've been. I'm sorry for any disappointment I've caused, he replies. She says, I'm not disappointed with you either. He says, thank you so much for saying that, AG. Like, I know it all came with kind intentions. Honestly, it's good it happened in the UK. Imagine if we tried Canada, I'd like actually have died. I was thinking about that last night for a bit, that if you had flown all the way out there and visited me and had all these things hit you at once, I literally couldn't forgive myself. Yeah, lol, straight up would have died. It's good to know. I learned a decent amount about myself these past few days. I wish it was a lesson that was a bit easier to learn on your end for real. I saw how rough it was for you. Wish I wasn't so fucked up, but it is what it is. Thank you for being kind when dealing with it. I think that's the part that's just gonna be hard for me to let go of, but I appreciate you talking with me about it like this. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that properly. What I meant to say is I could tell it was really stressful for you, and I feel bad about that. Fun fact, it gets worse than that. It was high up there, but there's a tiny bit further it goes. But that just goes to show how bad my anxiety issues really are. It was a shock to you too, as you said. It was like an 18-hour plus attack, man. That's so long. That's why I'm happy you're back home and away from the feeling. I don't want to do anything that brings it back. It's incredibly embarrassing that I spent an entire night crying at you, but you were very sweet in handling it. You did good. I enjoyed watching a reality show and finding the One Piece characters. God, I was like half asleep. I did what I could. Now, there's a lot of people who are uber cruel when I get in states like that. I've literally been beaten and strangled because of it. Yo, what the fuck? Oh my god, this is messed up. I'm so fucking sorry that happened, which unsurprisingly does not help. Can confirm that's the worst way to handle panic attacks. Yo, that is messed up. I want to tell you that having a sense of humor about it is pretty damn incredible, to say the least. He's right. Humor is my style. If you don't laugh, you cry, and sometimes you do both. Laughter is the ultimate coping mechanism. How are you doing? I'm feeling much better, babe. Less horrible. Because before we started chatting, I was generally in a panic attack of my own. I'm genuinely sorry to hear that you were having one of those. They suck, and I wish they weren't a thing any of us had. Luckily, you talked me through it, and my therapist helped out too. Thank you so much for spending some time chatting with me today, because you have eased so much fear and anxiety I had. Glad I could help. Get some sleep and enjoy tomorrow's show. I'll try my best and hope you rest well too. I'm gonna try to go to an event tonight. I didn't really fall asleep till 6 a.m. last night, but I did get 8 hours of sleep. I think I was fighting off something last night, and I seem to have beaten it back. The weather is bad out here. Good news, I might have found us new tickets through a friend for really good seats. Cool, so I'll try to get in London for like 1:30 so I can swing by the hotel and get changed. I still left my outfit in your hotel room. You left a bunch of stuff, haha. I left trading cards. I'll keep you posted on my travels tomorrow. How are you feeling? A lot better. Been thinking of what to show you around Cambridge. There's a real tourist part I think you'll love. I'm gonna take you there. We're gonna go in the gift shop and get you an Uber British souvenir. Is there a big candy store like you said you wanted to see? I'm certain you'll be able to get some. It's a big ass candy store. If I remember, the downstairs you can make your own fancy little chocolate pick and mix. We're gonna head out on Monday morning, yeah? Whenever we get up Monday, yeah. I'm not a morning person. But the stuff we're gonna do with my roommates is evening stuff. Wanna go for a cheeky Nando's with my roommates, bruv? I think I can manage it. Well, the Nando's is right next to bowling and stuff, which is where we're dragging your ass to. We're gonna get food, go bowling, play in the arcade, and play pool. Okay, so we're planning a bunch of activities. I'll be honest, I'm still a little bit stressed by everything, but I'm empathetic to your situation and how you feel. We're not that scary. The thing is, I was cool with going out to your place for a day and meeting everybody, but I really did travel out there to spend time with you. You're spending Tuesday with just me. I'm aware there was plenty of miscommunication about everything with how I planned this trip, and a lot of that is on me. Going around the actual Cambridge town and stuff was just gonna be us two. It's only Monday you're hanging out with my roommates. And please, no, I don't think of hanging out with you, with your roommate is a negative thing. I only planned the Monday to... Oh, so does he think that she's bringing her roommates in so she doesn't like have like one-on-one time with him? I only planned the Monday to be with my roommates. The Tuesday and Wednesday I was gonna do solo stuff with you. Sounds good, and I really do appreciate it. I've been trying to like plan around both our comfort levels. I can tell. I'm pretty good at like looking after peeps when I'm not just constantly crying. How's your day going? I took the convertible out for a drive and got really wet. But there's this video game, Pokemon ROM hack of all Yu-Gi-Oh creators, and I'm in it and I want to find me. Cool. Kind of wacky to be in a game. Okay, I thought it would be cool if we switched the rivals to be each other's models and the main trainer to be us, but I don't think we're ever gonna do that incentive. Alright, back to talking about plan. All plans tonight didn't come to fruition or were cancelled. I'm not in a good place right now. That sucks, I'm sorry to hear that. I actually asked my friend more directly about hanging out, and he is actually hanging out with his buds, and he invited me, so I'm gonna go. I'm happy this is working out tonight. I was worried I was just not gonna have much to do, but I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone and go hang out with my friends and his friends. After a good night's sleep, I'm feeling better. I actually got 8, haha. I hope you had fun. Thanks, babe. When I go out to Cambridge, can I use your laundry? Yeah, you can. Thank you, babe. How's your night going? I'll be real. I'm watching the Barbie movie with the fam. Okay, too pink. Also stupid fun, so I can dig it. It is. How's hanging out with your friend going? Good, having tea and gonna go to a pub later for a bit. Not drinking though. Yeah, the chasm of miscommunication is so big in this situation. No, so like I just want to clear this up tonight before I head to London. Tomorrow in case you decide you don't want to come, but like I'm heading back to London as a friend. I just want to friendo hang out, get to know you as a friend. I know that might suck for you, but I realize I really have to know people as a friend to get comfortable with them. So no like intimacy or such or touching me all the time and that. I know that might be upsetting for you, but I really just want to be friends. So if you don't want me to come to wrestling with you, that's fine. But I just really want to clear this up and have you understand where I'm at. I'm sorry for any upset this might cause. Okay, so now she doesn't want anything to do with him romantically anymore, but I mean, she also says that she wants to get to know him more before, which I feel like it's normal for most people. Like, even if you're talking to somebody long distance and you feel like you know them, it's not the same as, you know, hanging out with somebody face to face. And there is like a period of probably where the two of you need to get to learn to know each other, not just like jump into bed. She could have said that though. Feels like she doesn't, well, or this is a reaction to that night they spent together and she feels like grossed out and she wants to, you know, pull back. Yeah, it could be a reaction to that night that they spent together that she feels uncomfortable with as well. So he responds, I appreciate you telling me directly, as this was what I was assuming from what you had said last night. I respect where you're coming from and I want you to know that I understand. In the beginning, he did say that if they ended up as friends, he'd want her in her life either way. That's true. I'm super glad you understand, and I know this is exactly what you were hoping for. I understand if you don't want me to come to the wrestling, and respect you might want space from me. I apologize for my part of the miscommunication. I'm so sorry for that me visiting has brought up some unexpected things. I know this hasn't been easy on you, and I feel terrible about that. I hope you do not think less of me because of this. You're still a good friend, don't worry. I don't hate you or anything. I want to make this not as rough for you, but you know me. I'm not one to bullshit. I'm pretty blunt. Do you still want to come to the wrestling? It's totally fine. If not, I'll have to come to London either way for my stuff. Yeah, absolutely need to get your stuff. Are you comfortable going to the wrestling event? If you want me there, yeah, I'm down to hang out. Like, it's totally fine to hang out. You're still welcome to redacted as well. Can you give me a few to respond? Need to take a shower. If you want to come out to the event and hang out with me and see it, that would be cool, though. I don't want you to feel forced to spend the night at the hotel if you want to head home after the event. As for Cambridge, I think I need to think about it, as this has all been an incredibly large amount for me to emotionally process properly. Do you know what time the event ends? I believe it ends around 10. Trains are uber sucky tomorrow, so I think maybe it's best I don't go and just come collect my stuff Monday when trains are back to normal. Trains legit only go to Tottenham Hale, and then I have to do 36 underground with multiple switches to get to you. which I really don't think I could do alone with luggage to make the train home. I completely understand and we can make that work. Legit, there isn't enough time to get from Wembley to that train station. I would miss the last train home. This is actually cursed. Do the trains sort themselves out on Monday? Yeah, they do, hence why I can't collect my stuff on Monday. But trains being fine Monday doesn't change 3-hour trip to get to you tomorrow and having to do 36 underground stops alone. I was literally terrified just going to one stop from the museum to King Cross. Wasn't it only 12 to get to the museum and you were able to take a train back to King's Cross that was only one stop? I'm not familiar with the route, so I don't fully know the way they angle. Okay, they're just explaining to each other how to navigate the public transports. What, like, go to Liverpool Street, get off, meet your grab my bag, go back on a train, because I'm just going back to my bag. It's easier to just do it Monday when trains aren't wacky. Like the train to London from Cambridge, the station I took to go out to Cambridge the first day. I'm saying I can bring out your bag to there, not Liverpool. Sorry for the confusion. I've been talking about Monday. What then? Hang on. I thought we were talking so I could still come to the wrestling. Oh, I thought we were talking so I couldn't still come to the wrestling. The trains are a non-issue on Monday. But you said you didn't want to come to Cambridge. Sorry, I'm super confused right now. Okay, so what I was trying to sort out was me being able to still go to wrestling with you and get back to Cambridge that night since you said you didn't want to head to Cambridge. Oh, so she still wants to go to the show. You have to forgive me. My assumption was after you said this, you didn't want to come out on Sunday. By tomorrow, I thought you meant today because we started the conversation around noon. I understand all the confusion. You shouldn't have to travel all the way to Cambridge to bring me my shit. I wasn't suggested that I was, suggested me going to the train station from Cambridge, so you avoid the underground entirely on Monday because you mentioned you didn't want to deal with the trains. I just want to confirm that you don't want to come out for the wrestling event, correct? Wrestling event being on Sunday. Clarify for me you aren't coming to Cambridge on Monday if I was with you and heading back, right? Like, I can get to London, Liverpool Street, and then Hanger Lane from there to go to wrestling event, but I get stuck in London is the issue. My only option back Sunday is to get like an hour and a half long, £150 Uber. 25, so not enough time to get from Wembley to the train station on the train. Would you be comfortable just attending half the show and leaving early so you can catch the last train? Where would I store my suitcase? Like, at that point, I just watch the show, then head back to your hotel, grab my stuff, and order an Uber. It's about what I would pay on your hotels in Cambridge. But I sort of need to sort this out relatively soon because I'd have to get an early train to get you with enough time to get ready. Would you feel comfortable doing that? Do you want me at this wrestling show? Only if you actually want to go to it and hang out. I know how much traveling and closeness outside of your home stresses you out, so I don't feel comfortable asking now. You'd come back with me to the hotel and see me off in the Uber, yeah? The next day she sent an unambiguous breakup message expanding upon her text from the previous day. This was a shock to me, and I was heartbroken to my core. However, I felt the romantic split was amicable and was hopeful that our long-standing friendship was still strong. Despite being totally devastated, I told her that I understood and respected where she was coming from. She appreciated this and told me she still wanted me to come visit her at her hometown during my trip. Then we talked about her coming to the AEW show and I asked her if she was comfortable still doing so. We went back and forth and she said that she was worried about getting home in time. I had already said that I did not in any way expect her to stay the night as being away from home would be causing undue stress. I told her I was willing to leave the show early to help her get her train back home. I was adamant the whole time that I did not want her to do anything she wasn't comfortable with. I did not want her to feel obligated as her anxiety was now clearly debilitating. The next day in the early afternoon, she arrived at the hotel with one of her roommates/carers. I was happy with this because it helped her anxiety. We decided that she would pack up her stuff and we would leave it with the front desk and she could grab it on the way out later that evening. We all went out to the wrestling event, but when we got to the stadium, there was a fair crowd of people and I could tell she was starting to get really, really nervous. So I asked her if she honestly felt comfortable going to the show at all, just as I had asked her many times leading up to this. She replied that there were too many people and she needed to go home. I was naturally disappointed, but did not take it personally as her anxiety was clearly overwhelming. So she left with her friend who would wait nearby till she wanted to head home, so she would have someone to travel with. I saw the show alone. If you come to the full event, I would go with you back to the hotel and see you off. Like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable doing the underground on my own and taking an Uber alone at night, but I wouldn't be offering to do it if I wasn't willing to do it. This was like the one thing we planned to do, and I know you've been looking forward to it. So if you want me there and want to hang, we can do that game plan, but I need to know nowish because I need to be up early for the train. And I'm gonna be nervous and stressed getting there, yeah, but I can push through it to hang out. for this. Am I wrong, or did they only spend one night together? Yeah, they only spent one night together. I would like to go to the event with you, but I'm worried about how uncomfortable you're gonna make yourself with both coming out and going home. Like, I genuinely feel worried. We power through. Just text me while I'm in the Uber. I might be hanging out with people at night, but I'll keep my phone close. I know some people plan to probably hang out tomorrow night, and I didn't want to go to one of the events, but I would be even okay with leaving halfway through the main event to leave early to avoid all the crowd rush. But those are just tentative plans. How early is halftime? No, halfway through the main event, like the last 30 minutes of the show. If we leave a little bit early, we can avoid all the rush of everybody, and I'm willing to do that so you don't feel the crowd strain. You sure? Okay, sounds good, but let's game plan this one step at a time. Step 1 is getting me to London to your hotel. But I'll text you and keep you posted. So you'll be getting in around 12, and it will take a little bit on the train, right? About how long would you think it would take you to get there? Now, the train is an hour and a half to get to the Liverpool street, so looking between noon to 1 for getting into London. Then I gotta do 17 stops on the Underground. Can you meet me at the Hanger Lane Underground station? I really hate walking that subway. I can come down there, no problem. Meet you by that little circle kiosk, yes please. I'll text you when I'm close. Want me to call you when I get into London? Sure, that might be for the best just because my sleep schedule is so fucked. Okay, I'll do that. I really do hope you enjoyed the event, but I understand if this is all going to be super stressful for you. My dude, I'm coming to have a nice time with you. I don't intend for us to have a shit time. I've downloaded some banging music, so I should be as fine as I can be. I'm really trying to still give you a good trip. I appreciate you being willing to push through the anxiety, but I don't want you to put yourself out. It's okay, I'm willing to do this for you. I do still care about you. I hope you maybe feel up to popping by Cambridge for a day, even if it's just the two of us hanging out. No pressure, though, my dude. Options always open and easy train ride away. She started calling him dude, so it's Jover. He's completely friend-zoned. I also totally get it if you hate me after this and never want to speak again. I'm not gonna hate you or anything like that. This has just been a lot to process away from my home. I am happy I get to enjoy a fun event with my friend. You've never been to wrestling before and you're about to watch pretty much a super show. For WWE, they have WrestleMania, but it seems for this company, this is their version of WrestleMania. I look forward to it. Did you get better seats like you mentioned? The thing is, the person who gave me better seats, the reason why he gave them to me because his partner seems to have hurt a pre-existing injury, so he gave them to me, but now it seems like things might have normalized, so I'm not going to be a dick and possibly give him back his tickets unless he is only coming himself, and that means I won't be able to go to that, because then it would split us up so we could go with the original tickets. Oh, damn. He could have had VIP tickets, but he wants to sit with her. But if he is coming back, I'm giving him his tickets back because it would be rude as fuck to hold on to them after he gave them and something changed. Easy come, easy go, so to speak. I'll know more when he responds in the morning. Oh well, if it's just him going, and you could have VIP box booth with press and stuff, but it's solo. As long as I know early enough, I can just go home. Wouldn't want you to miss that. That's too cool an opportunity to throw away, my dude. There's a lot up in the air right now, and I don't do well with it. Like, he could ask for his tickets back tomorrow because he's already implied he's likely wanting them back, so that's why I'll know more in the morning. Keep me posted. I have to go to London to get my stuff back anyway, so I have to leave since you have that opportunity. That's totally fine. It's a cool opportunity, but I don't know the details of it right now, and I won't know till tomorrow morning. I feel like she's gonna flake. He shouldn't have told her that, because that's another undecisive factor, and she's gonna hold on to that, and now she's gonna second guess her going there. If the guy who first offered me the tickets can't make it, then we'll be able to use them, but if only he's coming, I don't want to split us up, because that's the last thing I want to do is leave you alone at some big event like this, so I'm not gonna do that. Oh, I just won't go to the event at all if he only has one ticket for you. I'm just gonna grab my stuff and dip. I already have tickets for the event that I purchased. Not gonna let you miss that opportunity. It's too cool. You'd love that experience. Like, it's totally fine, honest. You'll know early enough I can just get a train back. It's true, but you still need to grab your stuff. But right now, I have no idea, and I'm not counting on us getting those tickets or just being one. I think he might just be coming back with us partners, so we'll be able to go to the event, and I just don't know right now. This got dropped on me tonight. There's a lot of uncertainty right now, and it's very exhausting. Like, I'm so fucking exhausted. Yeah, there is a lot of uncertainty. Even I'm being exhausted reading this. This is way too, like, planning anything is way too complicated. They should just go with the regular tickets at this point. Like, keep it simple. You've been overly kind to facilitate it, but it does look like him and his partner are coming to town, so your kindness is likely in vain, so to speak. Just keep me posted. And then he sends her the message of his friend. Sounds like he would love to get his tickets back, so I'm not going to hold on to them. Yeah, do it. Like, the seats are great, blah, blah. Like I said to him, easy come, easy go. I'm not gonna lose my mind over it. Are you sure you want to go to the event? Do you not want me to? How many times? They've asked each other so many times if they wanted to go. I've already said I'm coming. I know, that's why I don't want to take off even a half opportunity and miss out on taking you to a giant wrestling event. But it's such a good opportunity for you, so if it's there for you, please take it. I'll keep you informed, but it sounds like it's both of them. I appreciate you being so kind. Just keep me posted. Don't push yourself through stress. That's gonna cause harm, I beg of you. I think I'll manage. You know how much this means to you. I know how much this means to you. We can talk more about the rest of the trip when you get there tomorrow. It's just been a lot for me to process, and I apologize for not being committed to any plans after this event. It's just been a massive shock to my system. You doing okay? Yeah, I'm just pulling into London. Griff didn't want me doing the trip alone, so he came with me and is gonna wait around so I can get home. This is one of your roommates as well, yeah? I can't do trips alone. Yes, Griff is one of my roommates. Griff is the only reason I've been able to get to London. Does he want one of the spare tickets I have to the event? Is this it with hours? Unfortunately, no. How far away are you, would you say? 40 minutes. Okay, how are you feeling? Anxious. The train is cramped and stuffy. What happened with the tickets by the end? The person who gave me the tickets got different tickets for themselves. So we have the special tickets. I'm asking more details about the area. Oh, so they're gonna get the VIP box. That's huge. You're about 20 minutes away. Yeah, like 10, but I can walk to the hotel with Griff. I figured. Are we good to go to your hotel room? I gotta get my stuff and freshen up. Of course. All of this, but finally she's gonna go there. The crowd is gonna make her anxious and she leaves early. Sad, because it's a lot of organization back and forth. Jeez. All the trains home are cancelled because the track broke. Enjoy your wrestling. I'm going all over to get home. Oh my fucking god, I'm so sorry that has happened. What is your game plan? I just got to my seat. Literally no trains to get back. Line was long. I had to try and get an Uber driver was cancelled. Is your mom going to try and come and pick you up, or are you going to try and get another Uber? Is there any way I can help? I hope you enjoy your show though. Is the seat good? Show me the view. Not too shabby. I'm glad he's here to support you for real. Show was fun. VIP seats were strange. It was non-wrestling fans, haha, but the wrestlers went there. Oh, for reals? You got to meet some wrestlers? Wait, it's kind of cool. Not after party. No, I only knew a few other people and they had obligations to go to. I got home and literally crashed. Stressful day. I'm really nervous about the idea of visiting your personal space for a couple of reasons. Number one, this sudden change in our relationship has kind of really jolted me pretty heavily. And I'm more than happy to remain friends, obviously, but this is kind of hurt. You know what I mean? I'm very empathetic to your situation and you to feel at your best. For me, this really rocked me to my core, and it's really hard to really hold back the sadness. I'm happy I get to meet your friend today, but I didn't really get the vibe. They enjoyed my company, so I'm also hesitant because of that. I don't know if that's because I'm reading into everything that's going on now because of everything that's happened or what. The reason why I haven't straight up said I wanted to come out and visit or confirm that is because I'm really nervous now. I'm away from my bubble and I was willing to do it to come out here for a couple reasons, and one of the reasons has fundamentally changed so drastically that it's really shaking me. I don't hold any ill will against you about it, if anything. I feel bad that we had not communicated beforehand about so many things that came up when I got there. I appreciate you trying to go to the event today, and I'm happy that you did right by your anxiety and didn't stick around and make things worse for yourself. Griff is just uber antisocial. He always looks miserable. I totally get you being nervous and such. I'm not gonna be mad at you for not coming this way. I would love for you to see me more in my comfort zone, since I don't want your only memory of me to be just crying or getting excited by dead bodies. I get that, but do you understand what's going on with me? I mentioned it in the early messages. How our relationship just pivoted in such a big change for me. I don't know if you are fully aware how unsettling it has been for me emotionally. Again, I'm not trying to be rude saying it. It's very awkward for me to talk about this with you given everything that's gone down the past couple days, and I'm trying to be as understanding as I can. I'm really sorry it's been so distressing for you. I didn't intend for that. It feels like she's not resonating with him at all. It doesn't feel like they're not on the same wavelength at all. And I mean, if she believes he raped her, that may be why. He says, I know, and it's why I don't hate you or anything. She says, I'm pretty real though, so I'm not just gonna like fake it or lead you on, because that's just cruel. I could never be the cruel to someone. I know a lot of stuff got shaken up with me actually physically coming here, and you're being honest about those feelings, and I respect that. I realize I need like a lot of care and support, and that's a lot for peeps, and it's hard to become a trusted person I can look after me. I feel can look after me. But look at the peeps I have around me. Griff was willing to wait hours on his own just to make sure I could get home. It sucks I need that support, but like, I do. Oh, I'm not referring to anything about that or anything. I respect the fact that you have people that you hold close, and I don't hold that against you whatsoever. She responds, I don't do one-to-one hangouts because it freaks me out. I have to hang out with the person, with friends first to get comfortable. That's something I learned. This trip was pushing and asking way too much of me, and I have to be real about that because it's dangerous to let me get into full panic states. It's dangerous to push me well beyond my limits, you know? As I said earlier, I said the other day, I completely understand that. I'm sorry, I'm really confused. About what? Again, I just stated before, and I understand that and completely respect your feeling on this, and I'm not challenging you on that at all. I just feel a little bit confused by what you said. Which part is confusing to you? I guess the best way of putting it is it's coming across at the moment to me like I'm not understanding where you're coming from, when all I want you to know is I do and I respect it. I hope that makes sense. Griff is her caretaker. She has a full-time caretaker. You get taught a lot in therapy to be like good at communication and trying to communicate how I'm feeling, where my brain's at. I like people to understand where I'm coming from, so I'm just trying to explain that. I'm generally really sorry this trip didn't go how you wanted, and I do feel awful about that. I'm incredibly empathetic to your situation. I have tried to push through my anxieties to try and not be a mega letdown. If you want to come to Cambridge, all you gotta do is text and let me know. The offer's there, but I get it if not. Thank you for understanding and extending the invite to Cambridge. I hope you can make the most out of your trip, even if it doesn't involve seeing me. Smiley face. That doesn't mean you can't come to Cambridge. Shit, I'm sorry if that came across that way. Not at all. I appreciate you being willing to communicate with me through all of this, and I know it hasn't been easy for you. It feels like she doesn't want... She'd feel relieved, I think, if she didn't go to see her. I would hate myself if I left you in England with no communication, nothing. That would actually be evil. It would be unfathomable after all our years knowing each other. It would be a dick move, and I'm not one for dick moves. I might be incredibly blunt IRL, but I'm not an asshole. If I came out tomorrow, what would we get up to? Like you mentioned, you wanted to show me some place and hang out with your friends. I'll probably head out on the last train. Museum and tourist place. We're a historic city. Okay, so it seems like they're making plans. So the next day, after you all in, I asked her to remind me about the plan for me going to her hometown. She said yet again that she would like me to visit, but now, since it was past Monday, the plans would need to change. We would not be seeing her friends and animals. Instead, she would visit historical sites there with me one-on-one. At this point, heartbroken and depressed, I did not feel comfortable hanging out one-on-one with her. I decided to go home back to British Columbia and cut my trip short. Oh, wow. AJ seemed supportive and encouraged me to do what was best for my mental health. Do you still want me to meet your pets and everything? Can we put a pin in this till later? I'm just heading out to hang out with friends and I gotta drive. I got food reservations. I thought you meant to just come hang for the day. Was that not what you meant? I was referring to you mentioning yesterday / the other day that part of coming out would be hanging out and meeting some of your friends and meeting your animals as well. You mentioned meeting your animals many times. You don't want to meet my animals. The neurologically challenged dog is being really bad and me and the vets have no clue what to do. Honestly, I think you'd hate my pets. There are a lot and I get that. I thought what? But she wanted him to meet his pets the entire fucking doc. Oh my god. Alright, this is the one text. This is where I'm being mind broken. I was strong the entire time. Now I'm going nuts. If you come to Cambridge, I'll show you Cambridge, but not my house. I feel as though our initial plans to hang out with each other and do more together switched. Therefore, I'm missing home badly as I'm disconnected from my own bubble. So as excited as it was to meet up and some cool things in London, I'm afraid I might have to cut my trip short for mental health reasons, as I'm dealing with a lot right now away from my own support network. That's totally fair. Do what you need to do for your mental health. If you can get a flight home early, go for it. We both gotta do what's right for our own mental health. There's no way I tell you to push through your mental health and cause yourself damage. But once I arrived back at my home, I was horrified to receive a message. Oh, there we go, finally. But once I arrived back at my home, I was horrified to receive a message from her accusing me of sexual misconduct since she had been sedated and could not give consent. I was shocked as I never knew she was sedated. She had told me that she needed the pills to live. I thought she was exhausted as I had been. I did not think she was intoxicated, let alone incapable of giving consent. I went into this thinking this woman loved me. She had encouraged me to believe this. To have her pulled back from me devastated me. I had been understanding and accepted when she said she wanted less intimacy and to be friends instead, no matter how much it broke my heart. But now she was making this allegation which I knew was simply untrue. I could not understand what was happening. All right, let's look at the screenshots of the accusation. This is the most important screenshot of the entire document, by the way. All right, so she's like, this is, the message encouraging him to head home, but then she sends him another message. Hey, I know you're probably still super stressed out from the trip and everything because I know I'm still recovering and I'm going to be a long while, but I really need to talk about some things. 1. I do not wish to work on your VOD channel any longer, so please take this as myself and Jimmy resigning effective immediately. I request you remove me as channel manager from your YouTube and as moderator from your Twitch. I won't be doing any work for you going forward as I simply am not comfortable. 2. This is the big one. What happened Thursday really wasn't okay, and I genuinely need to know that you understand that your actions weren't okay. I'm talking to you about this because we used to be friends, so I'm giving you a chance to do what little you can do to take accountability here. I was not in a good headspace and you knew that. I was drugged up on sedatives from my panic attack, on a strong sleeping med, and had mentioned multiple times that I wanted to be friends. But you told me I hadn't just led you on, had I kept making advances the entire night and pushed for sex. She sending him home was the most agreeable she has been to Taka this whole time, by the way. I think she just wanted to get rid of him. Well, we didn't see in the screenshot exchange that she wanted to be friends. It seemed like they wanted to be more, but maybe she has additional evidence that we haven't seen. I have trouble understanding the sentence too. I wanted to be friends, but you told me I hadn't just led you on and had I, and kept making advances the entire night and pushed for sex. She's saying that was trying to pushing for sex and making advances, right? Not the other way around. She uses I, so I'm got confused. Whether you think you weren't pushing or not, I was not in a headspace where I could consent properly. You should never have tried anything on with me that day, but you did. It doesn't matter if you had been sexual via text. In person, you should have respected me and my boundaries. I've spoken to my therapist and support groups and I know it wasn't okay. Believe me, I blame myself for a while, but I know that's just wrong. It was messed up and it's why I can't be your friend right now. I can't leave you thinking that was okay because I don't want you doing and hurting someone else. You need to own up to how messed up all of Thursday was. Right now, I can't smile and pretend to be professional with you because you majorly screwed up and hurt me, so I'm not going to pretend we are good because we aren't, and I refuse to be fake, but I'm trying to talk it out with you. I understand this is scary for both of us. I feel awful. I would never want anyone to feel this way. I'm mortified at the prospect of taking advantage of anyone's body autonomy when I ask for consent throughout the entire process. If at any moment I had received a signal from you that it was not okay, then I would have stopped. I firmly believe that consent can be revoked at any point in the actual act, which is why I asked every step of the way. I'm sorry for any hurt that was done inadvertently. My understand was that Thursday was a completely consensual act between us. Again, I regret and I'm mortified if I misunderstood this. I would never want to cause anyone any pain or distress, especially not you, who I held dear to my heart. I just want you to be as well as you can and take care of your needs at this time. It was never my intention to cause you any pain. I feel like he's kind of been repeating that the entire trip. Given my past personal experience, believe me when I say I would never want anyone to experience non-consensual touching or a lack of body autonomy at my hands, and I take this very seriously. And then she responds a big text. Did you read and actually take in what I said to you in the previous message? I'm telling you, it has hurt me and wasn't okay. There's no ifs there you have hurt me. You claim you cared deeply for me, yet you downplayed my mental health issues to a dangerous degree. Did he? When did he downplay it? Pressured and took me away from all my safety network and made advances all while I was in a drugged up state and had nowhere to go. What? He took her away from her, but I don't think it's fair to completely blame him for that. I think she was willing. The plan was always that they would be in a hotel together for 7 days. It's just that she didn't realize that she wasn't able to do it because she didn't feel comfortable with it. But on that first night, I think it seems to me, from what I'm reading, based on the information that I have so far, and this could be subject to change, that she only realized that she wasn't comfortable with it after spending a night away from her support network. So I don't know if it's like fair to say it. It's like Taka kidnapped her away from like her support network and put her in an unsafe situation. Like, I'm not saying he acted right there. Obviously, when he saw her swallow like a handful of pills, like, I don't know, just take the night off. Any other night would have been probably better to continue stuff. So I feel like he still kind of acted shitty that night. Like you guys said when we read that part of the document, a few people in chat were saying like, yo, just sleep on the chair tonight, and he probably should have done that and saved himself a bunch of trouble. He made advances while I was in a drugged up state and I know where to go. None of that is okay, and it's concerning if you think it is. I made it clear to you I was in a mental health crisis, and yet you still pushed. I'm making it clear here it was not and is not okay, and if you can't accept that, then there's no conversation to be had here. I don't get why you think a crying, panicked, drugged up girl who had asked if you would be mad if they just wanted to be friends, wanted sexual advances and sex. So here she also claims that she had asked him if they wanted to be friends, but he didn't include that in the screenshots. So, or in his document. So did that happen like face to face or what? We don't know. I'm even more baffled you think a panicked mental health crisis drugged up person is in a state of mind where they could make informed consent. Even worse here is all I'm asking for is an actual apology for putting me through all of that you did. Oh, she's just asking for an apology. I'm so fucking sorry. I want you to genuinely know I'm fucking horrified by this and genuinely feel terrible about visiting. I hope you believe me when I say I thought your anxiety reaction to everything on Thursday was about being away from home, away from your bubble and support network. That was my mistake, and I'm so fucking sorry. I would have never even remotely pushed us in that direction or would have asked you to come out and visit me if I had thought otherwise. When we hung out, and please believe me when I say this, I did not pick up on just wanting to be friends. That was my fault, and I'm sorry. And I profoundly apologize. So he didn't pick up either. Yeah, there's just two drastically version of the event that happened in both of these people's head. Like it's just, there's so much discrepancies between both of them that I don't know what to believe. I profoundly apologize for not using better judgment in interpreting everything. Had I known the extent of the state of your condition, I would not have asked you to come out. I interpreted the situation completely wrong and hurt you in the process. I'm so fucking sorry and I feel truly awful. Out of respect to our relationship over the years, from the bottom of my heart, I am sincerely sorry. So we read the accusation doc, and now we're going into the aftermath. So he says, I went over the events of those few days in my mind. This had been a sad and difficult time with conflicting messages and mixed signals, but I knew that I had asked for and received her consent at every stage of intimacy. She clearly had been wrestling with issues and anxiety, but she had explained, and I had believed, that these were related to her fear of being away from home. These had not been presented as issues with being with me. So he's basically reiterating what he said to her in the screenshots. She didn't at any point suggest she had an issue with being intimate until after the fact. I wish she had been clearer and more honest with me about the specificity of her issues and what her limits were. This has been a terrible moment of failing to communicate properly. Yes, I misread the severity of the situation and I am profoundly devastated. I'm still processing this heartbreak at the same time, and I wouldn't wish this on anybody. We have both clearly been hurt by miscommunication. And she didn't tell him what they were. That's the other part of the story that doesn't match, because her side is saying that he knew what they were, but his side claims that they didn't know. So it's kind of like, you know, he says, she says, unfortunately, which is often like that in those kind of situations. I was profoundly shocked and filled with sadness when, after my visit, 5 months later, AJ began sharing claims with several of our mutuals. So this is how, you know, this is the aftermath. She alleged that I had sexually assaulted her and that I coerced her into being intimate after she had expressed a desire to simply remain friends. These claims simply did not align with the reality of our relationship, and I still have the written message to prove this. Her version of events also altered the timeline of our trip planning and omitted key contexts, such as the fact that we had been in an on and off relationship for 9 years. Well, I wouldn't call that a relationship. for 9 years. I feel like that's embellishing it a little bit, right? Like, I don't know. It wasn't a 9-year relationship. Like, I thought from the way he explained it at first, I thought they were for real, like, dating for 9 years. But from what I'm understanding is that they only started legitimately seeing each other, and online too, long distance, not IRL, after COVID. That's not 9 years. Yeah, and it's a long distance like situationship. They're not even monogamous. During which time we had twice met in person and shared many intensely sexual interactions, virtually, online, and through text leading up to the trip. Friends of mine gave me insight into what was being said once this became apparent. I'm fortunate to have friends who have known me for many years and who questioned the accuracy of what they were being told. With their permission, I'm sharing some of the messages and Discord exchange they sent me, which reflects their perspective and support and help provide a fuller picture of the situation. Hey, I need to talk to you about something really serious. You okay? Yes, I'm kinda, but I don't know how to call you when you're free. Let me go down to my office. This is a conversation between somebody who's redacted and Bo. So they have this call. Redacted knows and is appreciative, did not tell her who. Okay. Is any other action being taken, by the way, like more official, if you catch my drift? Speaking in code because I can't go on call and know it's sensitive. I mean, there's a police report and a grape kit, so I don't know. Gotcha. So there's a police report and a grape kit, which proves that they had intercourse. Redacted, do you know if this thing is going to actually come out? I know you said she had cold feet. Okay, so this was in January 13. And this January 14. I honestly don't know. She wants to, but I don't know what her plan is at the moment. I know that some of us who had upcoming plans with him are unsure of how to proceed. On one hand, if this is true, which I clearly assume it is, we don't want to continue working with him, but we'd eventually have to explain that to him. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I can ask and see, but if you guys want to proceed as normal, by all means, I went ahead and asked her what her plan is. Understandable. It's a difficult situation, but I think for some of us, we just don't know how to move forward. We can't explain our concern to him. Oh, okay, yeah, because okay. And our desire to take a step back without inadvertently outing her, because who else could it be about, right? Yeah, so I guess because the victim doesn't want to come out, but they know this about him, but they can't tell him, they're in a tricky situation, they don't know what to do. This is awkward. Yeah, I know this is all rough, and I don't know if she's going to back out or post it. If she is afraid of the internet backlash, she can always consider sharing the document with people she feels need to know it and can be dealt with without the internet randoms potentially jumping in on her. I know the concern is probably that it could happen to someone else. Yeah, but then if she doesn't want people to know it's her, therein lies the issue. Like I said, I asked, and I'll let you know what she says. Okay. Are you planning on posting the doc you made, or is that for just in case purposes? I'm sorry to even ask this. I plan to provide it to people privately at present, but it's not written up fully yet. It's been a struggle to work on. They don't need a public statement to avoid him, though. Just avoid him if they want to. I'm working on it with Red Claw, Thursday though, so hopefully I can get it done. Okay, baby, no worries. I'm also having to think through what to include that doesn't harm the legal case if I want to go forward. So you guys are... Okay. She said the more she works on the doc, the more sick it makes her. I get it. Been there, as you have too. Yeah. So the plan is to share it privately at present. The concern is not that. We want a public statement to avoid him. It's more, some of us have a harder time avoiding him without explaining ourselves, and we don't want to say anything that would hurt her. So we just want to know when it will be okay to tell him why we're cutting ties. I feel anything but strong. I just feel weak, man. People keep pushing for public posts, but they aren't understanding how destructive on the victim that would be. I don't think he's a threat to professionals. I think you have more in your corner than you think. I completely understand how daunting this is. It's a heavy, horrible ordeal. You are being incredibly strong, even if it feels like you aren't. Even reaching out to close people to let us know and be there for you is super hard as is. Yeah, I understand she's doing the best she can currently. Yeah, I get that. Can I call you in a minute, or are you streaming? I'm not streaming today. Feel free to call me. So Taka knows he's been prepping to defend himself for months. She's taking him to court. He's calling people and trying to convince them she's lying. Ooh, that doesn't look good. That doesn't shock me. Everyone pulling out of plans with him at the same time probably alerted him to something being off. Yeah, he called Red last night. I guess it's really going to show who has his back and who has hers when it all comes out in the wash. It's going to be a big divide. You don't say. It's a very precarious situation to be involved in for anyone. I'm going to publicly maintain a distance from it. Yes, same. But I will refuse to be friends with people that know and defend him. It's all going to be hard. Ooh. Damn, and Bo's going to end up defending him. I won't be defending him. I do still need to see some form of receipt before I can fully form an opinion, though, which feels bad to say, but I hope you can understand why I feel that. I'm sure part of it is that I don't have a pre-existing friendship with her, so I don't have that to go on either. Yeah, it would be ignorant to just trust word of mouth. I completely understand. Did he seem to know Red was helping her, or was that purely coincidental? He didn't know Red knew. He called him to convince him she's lying. Okay, thank you. Can we talk on the phone? They call. Well, he hasn't answered me all day, so it's probably safe to say he thinks I'm an asshole that tried to ruin him. I'll call you in a second if you're up for it. Oh, that's it. Okay. So that's how he found out. But I mean, this other person also says there is a court proceeding. All right, now let's look at what Mistress Doom posted. So Mistress Doom, the person called out in Takahata's document, the victim, released her answer. She's been completely quiet until now. So the doc kind of forced her hand there. So she says, "Hello, this is the carer." Oh, it's the carer that's writing this, not her. "Hello, this is the carer of Mistress Doom. Some of you know me as Jimmy. I am posting this brief statement on her account on her behalf so that she does not have to traumatize herself further. These are her words for now." Okay, it's her words. "Finally, a chance to speak after a year and a bit of suffering from someone's action. Well, kind of speak. This is an active police investigation. Nothing about this case should be public as it is in the hands of the police and actively being investigated. This has been a police case since August 2024. Taka publicly posting that document is a crime and breaks the Sexual Offenses Amendment Act of 1992, which states an alleged victim of rape or sexual assault is granted anonymity for life as soon as they report, which I did back in August 2024. She says, "I would love to be able to share my story and my evidence. However, it has all been with the police since August 2024 onwards. I need to speak to the officer in charge of my case as well as my rape crisis advocate before I can make more of a statement regarding any of this. I know this is in the court of public opinion and you want evidence, but what Taka did is a crime and is being handled by the police. Twitter has also been made aware that this post is a crime. Unfortunately, it was around midnight he did so. Neither the police officers involved in the investigation or the advocates are awake, so I have to wait till morning to be able to speak with them and clear what I can publicly share. I put none of this public and never wanted it to go public, nor did I want anyone to know that I was the victim of that. I know I can't give the evidence right this second, but no, the police have had the phone logs and his lawyer letters since the end of February 2025. And as of literally today, September 9th, when I spoke with them, they were still actively pursuing this investigation. So for me, this part weighs a little bit stronger on her side. I mean, she says there is a police investigation still going on, although Taka's party claims there isn't one. But I'm really curious. For me, it's going to weigh in a lot if the police is still investigating or not. So I have given no one permission to share the story, and most of the people claiming they have heard my side and spoken to me are lying. So denying anybody that's saying that they've spoken to her directly. I don't think there's been many people that have claimed that, though. Not that I'm aware of. I have proof of everything I claim. It is just tied to a police case, which I will provide proof as soon as the officers in charge of the case and my advocates are awake. But I know I wouldn't have a police officer in charge and a rape crisis advocate for nothing. If she does show us any evidence, it's gotta be more than the proof that there was a grape kit, because the grape kit, it doesn't really prove anything except that they had intercourse. I think just showcasing that the police is still on the case, and perhaps what I would really like them to clarify is what the hell is going on with the legal proceedings. Why aren't her lawyers responding to his lawyers like he claims? Is that true? Is that not true? That's what I want to know. I know that an ongoing investigation doesn't necessarily mean a crime was proved or committed, but if there was no investigation, that means that the investigation would have been dropped for lack of proof, right? That's more in the way that I'm going for that's more why I need to know this. Yeah. The point of the kid is so the other party doesn't deny that the act took place. Yeah. Yes, exactly. They both admit to the intercourse, but the question is the consent and the ability to consent because whether she was on the influence or not. I mean, one strong defense point from Taka's party is that these guys, okay, Taka's side, I'm just gonna call them Taka's side or Takahata, they're like, well, it's been over a year of the police investigating and they're like, we haven't heard from them, so surely that means that, it was dropped or there was insufficient evidence. That's their argument. That's why I believe it's going to be a strong point of contention moving forward. He's not claiming there is none, just that in a year not a single person has contacted him to even question him. True. Once again, this is a police case. None of this should be shown publicly, and outing my name is a crime. Please allow me the space to speak with the police and the advocate and know that having a trauma that has almost killed you, outed, against your will, is a trauma I will never forget. That's sad, actually. I am a real person with feelings who has suffered for over a year with this. If I must make this clear publicly, then let this be my word to listen to as a victim in this investigation. I do not currently consent for anyone to speak on my behalf other than my carer at this moment. The only consent previously given in the past was to only state there was an ongoing police matter and nothing further. Any posts that targeted the situation publicly were done against my will. If you made a post on my behalf, you did not have my consent. I don't know nor follow either of you, so I hope my words are taken into consideration, unless I'm misunderstanding. 1, you made it public by talking about it to others, who then spread it from there. And 2, why would you not correspond with his attorney or get you your own? Many people made public vague postings because of what you said or on your behalf. Anonymity was lost at that point. I think many of us are going to need something concrete after what he showed. Yeah, I mean, this person is right. If your recollection is correct, I'm sorry you went through that and I hope you heal. Well worded post. You'd think it was TMI, but he was kind of first to leak everything, otherwise he will be accused of hiding evidence? Yes, I agree. The acted right of anonymity is nullified and lost if the person that is regarded as the victim has made themselves known to too many people to the point you are no longer anonymous. Really? Is that true? I wish Legal Mindset was here. There were other women in the scene who interacted with the victim and know more about her side. I cannot speak on her behalf. Whole point is, if you want to remain anonymous, you have to do it too. If you go about and make yourself known too much, you are waiving your rights to it. Doesn't matter if the other person tried to keep your identity safe, it's that you bypass your own anonymity, which is made by intent, as victims usually don't want to be found and to remain anonymous, and is thereby often used as indicator for defamation, as they have to make their identity known. Yet we know you went around and talked to people like Redclaw. Okay, guys, the problem is that we've had a lot of vague posts, and now we've got one side. Now I need to see the other side before I make my final decision. Obviously, after reading all of this, I'm leaning a little bit more with Takahata because that's what we've seen. We haven't seen anything else. I think it's shady she didn't tell him what her meds were at all. I think there was a lot of miscommunication that would have been about stuff that would have been really important to clarify. And then there was some over clarifications and but I guess it wasn't over clarifications because it all ended up being rescinded. I was gonna say I was getting annoyed about how many times he was asking if she was okay with stuff. It was almost like he was asking so much that it was almost like he felt guilty about something he did. You know what I mean? Like he was overcompensating, which is the feeling that I got reading some of the stuff, but maybe I'm just reading too much into it. And at the same time, I think they're just like that. I think this group is just like that. They're the kind to always ask for stuff and communicate a lot, but they talked so much, but they didn't talk about the right things. They didn't talk about the important things. And then after we finished reading the doc, I'm like, okay, well, he asked her so many times about stuff, and then finally it wasn't even all right. So final closing thoughts. I think we can't make a definitive judgment with the information that we have. For sure, there's this whole morality question that comes at play about consent and, you know, the whether or not she was in the state of mind where she could consent. And I feel like Takahata acted pretty well throughout the entire trip, except maybe for this night. That night, he should have played it a lot safer and probably avoided everything that's happened so far if he did. But at the same time, it seemed like, I mean, clearly in his head, he thought it was going to be okay because of all of the message texts they had exchanged each other and the sexual stuff. And, you know, he was like, it's on. This is what we're going to do. This is part of the plan. But again, you can remove your consent at any time. So no good to assume stuff. But I really feel like when I'm reading this and when I'm reading her like accusatory message and I'm reading his text, I'm like, wow, it's like I'm reading two different stories. I don't even know what's happening anymore. There is so much conflicting information. The issue is, did he delete or not screen cap certain texts? Well, these are text messages. They don't get deleted. I think he just didn't include them in the document. I mean, Alicia did mention that the girl cried on the train there, so he knew that she was like in a shaky headspace. But that wasn't talked about in the document. Oh, another big thing that I was like, that wasn't talked about in the document is that Alicia here said that, you know, his mom, her mother handed her off to him when he came to see her, trusting him with her care. And that also wasn't mentioned at all. I wish it was. Because from the way Alicia is explaining it here, it felt like she was very visibly, you know, mentally distressed, out of it, everything. Yeah, she has a 24/7 hour caretaker and her mom was there to hand her to him. Like, so she was, when I read this, I'm picturing like, you know, she's like this fragile thing. So obviously, if that was the case and he pressured her there, that's definitely more dubious. Yeah, from the doc, it seems like he didn't even meet her family. Yeah, this entire thing is a complete mess. This is why dating is so fucked and men feel like they need constant consent, and doing anything around a woman will ruin your life. It's funny because a few weeks ago, I was with a friend. She was telling me about this night she had it with a guy and he kept asking her for consent throughout. And she was like, holy shit, this is so fucking annoying. It's like ruining the mood. She was like, yo, if there's something I don't like, I'll tell you. Just stop repeating that. No, but the thing is, people are like, yeah, you should totally ask for consent like 25 times during the act. But men have like so much more pressure than that, because it's like you gotta keep the mood up. You gotta be like mysterious. You gotta be sensual, but you gotta, you know, ask for consent. But it's not that you gotta ask. It's like you gotta feel the consent. But what if you read it wrong? What if you're like socially inept? What if you completely misunderstood the situation? Oh, okay, then you gotta actually say the words, the magic words. And they're so lame. Like, that's just a mood killer. That's like, you know, you're talking about getting married. You're like, oh my God, it's going to be this amazing fantasy. And then you're like, but can you please sign the prenup? That's what it feels like. Hey, you, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button. And I'll see you in the next video.